Few actors in American cinema have embodied effortless charisma the way Robert Redford has. From the moment he emerged as a leading man in the 1960s, Redford carried a presence that felt both classic and modern. He had the golden looks of a matinee idol, yet there was always something thoughtful behind his eyes, something observant, reflective, almost distant. Unlike many stars of his era, Redford rarely spoke publicly about personal matters, and he was never one to sensationalize admiration. When he praised someone, it tended to be grounded in respect for craft, intelligence, and character rather than surface-level glamour. Over the decades, he worked alongside some of the most remarkable women in film history. While he never framed his admiration in terms of ranking or exclusivity, there were certain actresses he consistently spoke of with particular warmth and regard, women he considered not just talented, but deeply, genuinely beautiful in ways that transcended appearance. Understanding the women Redford admired offers insight not only into his taste, but into his values as an actor and storyteller. One of the most enduring names connected to Redford is Barbra Streisand, his co-star in The Way We Were. The film became a cultural phenomenon, and much of its power came from the contrast between their characters. Streisand played Katie Morrow's Skye, politically passionate and emotionally intense, while Redford portrayed Hubble Gardner, charming but less ideologically driven. Their chemistry did not rely on conventional romantic tropes. Instead, it thrived on tension, difference, and longing. Redford admired Streisand's intelligence and conviction. At a time when Hollywood often pressured actresses to conform to narrow beauty standards, Streisand embraced her individuality. Her voice, her nose, her unapologetic confidence, all of it became part of her identity. Redford respected that self-assurance. He recognized that true beauty could emerge from authenticity, from a refusal to shrink or soften oneself for approval. In interviews over the years, he spoke about her presence on set and her commitment to the emotional truth of each scene. Their partnership created moments that felt raw and lived in, and audiences sensed that the admiration between them extended beyond scripted lines. Another actress who shared striking chemistry with Redford was Faye Dunaway in 3 Days of the Condor. Dunaway brought a cool, almost enigmatic elegance to the screen. In a political thriller layered with paranoia and suspense, her composure balanced Redford's urgency. Dunaway's beauty was sharp and refined, but it was her intelligence and poise that elevated the dynamic between them. Redford appreciated performers who approached their roles with seriousness, and Dunaway was known for her meticulous preparation. Her ability to hold emotional tension without overt display mirrored qualities Redford himself valued. Their scenes together felt restrained yet charged, suggesting that attraction could simmer quietly rather than erupt theatrically. For Redford, beauty was often tied to that kind of restraint, the ability to command attention without demanding it. Equally significant in Redford's professional life was Jane Fonda. Though they did not star opposite each other in as many high-profile romantic dramas as some of his other co-stars, Fonda represented a generation of actresses who combined glamour with activism. Fonda was not only a celebrated performer but also a vocal advocate for political and social causes. Redford, who later founded the Sundance Institute to support independent filmmaking and artistic expression, shared an appreciation for artists who stood for something larger than themselves. Fonda's beauty was inseparable from her courage. She challenged expectations, embraced controversial roles, and refused to be defined solely by appearance. Redford admired that boldness. He valued women who brought intellectual engagement to their craft, and Fonda's career reflected both talent and conviction. When speaking about actresses he respected, Redford often emphasized strength of character. In Fonda, that strength was unmistakable. Moving into the 1980s, Redford shared the screen with Meryl Streep in Out of Africa, a sweeping romantic epic set against breathtaking landscapes. The film's visual beauty was undeniable, but it was the emotional subtlety between Redford and Streep that gave the story depth. Streep portrayed Karen Blixen with grace, intelligence, and emotional complexity. Redford's admiration for Streep centered on her dedication to craft. She approached each role with rigorous preparation and emotional nuance. On screen, her beauty felt timeless rather than trendy. It radiated through expression, through the careful modulation of voice and gesture. Redford often spoke of the importance of authenticity in storytelling, and Streep embodied that principle. Their partnership in Out of Africa captured a mature romance, one built on respect and shared understanding rather than youthful infatuation. For Redford, that kind of layered connection represented a deeper form of beauty, one rooted in mutual recognition. In the 1990s, Redford collaborated with Demi Moore in Indecent Proposal, a film that sparked widespread debate. Moore's presence in the movie was bold and contemporary. She projected confidence and vulnerability simultaneously, navigating a story centered on desire, morality, and power. Redford acknowledged Moore's willingness to take risks, both emotionally and professionally. Her beauty reflected the evolving standards of Hollywood, less restrained, more assertive. Yet even within a provocative narrative, Moore infused her character with sensitivity. Redford admired that complexity. He understood that beauty in performance involves balance, the ability to reveal strength and fragility in equal measure. Working with Moore allowed him to explore a different era of romantic storytelling, one that acknowledged shifting dynamics between men and women. Looking across these collaborations, a pattern emerges. Redford's admiration was never superficial. He gravitated toward women who brought depth to their roles, who combined physical presence with intelligence, independence, and conviction. His own career choices reflect that priority. Rather than pursuing shallow romantic vehicles, he selected projects that challenged both himself and his co-stars. He valued partnership over dominance, dialogue over spectacle. Even beyond these 5 actresses, Redford's broader body of work suggests a consistent respect for strong female characters. In films like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Candidate, and All the President's Men, women were not mere accessories. They contributed meaningfully to narrative momentum. Redford's off-screen advocacy for independent filmmakers further underscores his belief in elevating diverse voices. Through the Sundance Film Festival, he helped create opportunities for stories centered on complex women. That commitment reinforces the idea that his concept of beauty was expansive rather than limited. It included intellect, resilience, artistry, and moral clarity. As Hollywood evolved, so did standards of attractiveness and representation. Redford, however, remained steady in his appreciation for authenticity. He did not publicly rank or categorize women by appearance. Instead, his praise tended to highlight professionalism and character. In interviews, he often deflected personal questions, focusing instead on collaboration and storytelling.